All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever asked an AI, like ChatGPT, a question and the answer you get back is just kind of bland or worse, completely useless? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into prompt engineering, which is really the secret key to having much, much better conversations with AI. We have all been there. You've got a brilliant idea, a really complex problem you're trying to solve. You turn to your trusty AI assistant, type it all in, and the response, it's just a letdown. It feels like you're talking to a wall, a machine that just isn't getting what you're trying to say. And that frustration, it's pretty much a universal experience. So, what's really going on here? Well, it almost always boils down to this. A vague prompt like, tell me about engineering, is like telling a taxi driver, just drive. You can end up anywhere. The AI doesn't have a map, so you get this rambling, unstructured mess. But look at the difference when you get just a little more specific. Provide an overview of the mechanical engineering discipline. Now that gives the AI a clear destination. And the result, it's focused, it's concise, and it's actually useful. And that right there is the big idea from our source material. The problem isn't some flaw in the AI's brain. It's a gap in our communication. The quality of the answer you get is a direct reflection of the quality of the question you ask. Think of it like a mirror. Clarity and specificity are the absolute keys to unlocking what this technology can really do. This brings us to a really important shift in how we need to think about this. We have to stop being a passive passenger, just asking a question and hoping for the best. We need to become the pilot. We have to learn how to grab the controls and steer the AI exactly where we want it to go. The book uses this absolutely fantastic analogy of a pilot. I mean, think about it. A pilot doesn't just vaguely point the plane toward the sky. They use precise controls, they adjust for turbulence, and they have a very specific runway they intend to land on. That is exactly what a well-crafted prompt does for a conversation with an AI. And that, my friends, is prompt engineering in a nutshell. It's not just about asking better questions. It's a genuine skill. It's the art and science of writing instructions that guide these super powerful language models to give you precisely what you need, whether that's a creative story, a technical breakdown, or even a full-blown business plan. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we become the pilot? It might sound complicated, but it's really not. The source material gives us a simple but incredibly powerful framework to get started, so let's open up the toolbox. I want you to meet the RGC style. It stands for Role, Goal, and Context. The source calls this one of the most versatile and powerful ways to write a prompt, and honestly, they're right. It's a super easy to remember framework that can turn a simple, basic request into a professional-grade instruction. So how's it work? It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. First, you assign the AI a role. Tell it to be an expert copywriter or a senior data analyst. Second, you clearly state the goal. What is the exact thing you want it to do? And third, you provide the necessary context, all the background info it needs to do the job right. And you can see the night and day difference it makes. The basic prompt, my Wi-Fi isn't working, is basically a shot in the dark. But the RGC prompt, that's a laser beam. By giving it the role of a support agent, the goal of troubleshooting, and the context of frequent disconnects, you are setting the AI up for a perfect, targeted, and truly helpful response. Now, the RGC framework is your foundation. It's your flight school. It gets you off the ground. But once you're comfortable in the cockpit, you can start unlocking some of the AI's more advanced and, frankly, mind-blowing superpowers. Think about GPT plugins, which are like giving your AI new gadgets, letting it tap into something like Wolfram to solve insane math problems instantly. Or custom GPTs, where you can literally build your own specialized AI trained on your data for a unique task. And we're even moving into a world of multimodal prompts, where your instruction might not even be text. It could be your voice or an image you just upload. What all this really means is that the AI starts to evolve. It stops being just a simple tool like a calculator for words and becomes a genuine partner, a creative collaborator for your next big project, a powerful research assistant that never sleeps, or a personal tutor, all depending on how you choose to guide it. This all sounds great, I know, but let's get down to brass tacks. Why does this actually matter? Because these skills have tremendous value out there in the real world, across pretty much every industry you can think of. I mean, just take a look at this list. Better prompts are already revolutionizing customer support. They're creating killer social media campaigns, they're helping teachers personalize education, heck, they're even helping engineers innovate faster. Mastering this skill gives you a real, tangible advantage pretty much anywhere. But as with any powerful piece of tech, being a good pilot isn't just about skill. It's also about flying responsibly. The source material really hammers this home. Here's the deal. These models learned from the vast, messy human internet. That means they can sometimes be incredibly confident and just flat out wrong. A responsible pilot knows this. You have to guide the AI toward factual answers, use clear language, and always be ready to verify critical information. It's on us to make sure this powerful tool is also a trustworthy one. So let's bring this all in for a landing. We've gone from understanding the core problem with vague prompts to grabbing the controls with the RGC framework, and we even got a glimpse of our responsibilities as an AI pilot. If you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be the shift in perspective. You are no longer just a passenger, hoping for a good outcome. With these techniques, you now have the tools to take control. You're the one guiding these incredible models with purpose and with precision. So, the cockpit is yours. You have the skills to steer the conversation, to unlock some absolutely incredible potential. The only question left is, where are you going to fly first?